Okay, I just wanted to do a quick video on freight and some of the KPIs. I've had a couple of questions, people asking what ATKs are and what FTKs and RTKs, etc., and what that kind of means. Go through this. So FTKs, or freight ton kilometres, are probably more often written as revenue freight ton kilometres, and this is the equivalent of an RPK, but for freight. Maybe a good way to think about this is if we look at the two, you've got freight and you've got passengers on the plane. So passengers, you've got ASKs and you've got RPKs, and this is capacity, and this is demand. And for freight, you've got available freight ton kilometres or revenue freight ton kilometres, and this is capacity. So this is available tons, and this is demand. So this is also tons, but actual revenue paying tons. Okay, so you've got ASKs and RPKs for passengers, and then for freight, you've got available freight ton kilometres, which is your capacity, and you've got revenue freight ton kilometres, which is your demand, your tons in revenue. So if you just see FTK, that's freight ton kilometres, it should specify whether that's revenue freight ton kilometres or available freight ton kilometres. That previous slide that we saw, this is from another Qantas freight presentation. You can see they're assuming available freight ton kilometres are AFTKs, and FTKs without the R is your revenue freight ton kilometres, but usually we'll specify. So that's your passengers and your freight, and then if you put the two together, because a plane can carry both passengers and freight, then you get available ton kilometres and you get revenue ton kilometres. Okay, and available ton kilometres is capacity, which is passengers plus freight, and revenue ton kilometres is your revenue paying tons, and again that's passengers plus freight. Okay, and the reason that these metrics are used in the airline industry is that some airlines carry a lot of freight, and some airlines carry no freight. So if you want to compare different airlines, you can adjust by looking at available ton kilometres. You're taking into account the total tons that plane can carry, and you're not discriminating whether it's passengers or freight. Now, you're probably wondering, how do you put freight and passengers together? What you do is you assign a kilograms, and typically it's about 90 kilograms per passenger. Okay, and that's how you convert passengers into available tons or revenue tons. So you're simply looking at the ASKs, and you're multiplying a passenger, or assuming a passenger is 90 kilograms. So that's basically, hopefully that explains the difference. So ASKs, RPKs for passengers, available freight ton kilometres is your capacity for freight, revenue freight ton kilometres is your demand, your revenue paying demand for freight, and you can look at load factors the same as you would for passengers. And then if you see ATKs or RTKs, that's combining passengers and freight, and it's basically giving some sort of value for the weight of a passenger, and then you've already got freight measured in tons, so you've got everything in tons, and that way you can work out a load factor for the whole plane combined, passengers and freight. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Cheers.